Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome in as we get ready for our third game of the day. It is game number 10 of 16 of the D3Hoops.com Classic, the 13th annual from the South Point Arena in Las Vegas. I'm Dave McHugh alongside Pat Coleman as we get ready for Ohio Northern against Verne in women's basketball action. Polar Bears of Ohio Northern enter 6-3, having won their first game of the event. Verne Leopards come in 5-2, having lost their one game so far. We'll take a look at starting lineups for these two teams. Apparently I got this right. We're going to start with the Polar Bears of Ohio Northern, who will be the official away team for this one. Bryn Serban, the 5'5" senior, fifth year, I should say, guard out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Number 12 is Layla Dials, the 5'7" junior guard out of Willard, Ohio. Also starting number 13, Abby Akamine, the 5'7" junior out of Hawaii. Number 33 is Peyton Warnecki, the 5'9" senior forward out of Glandorf, Ohio. And Brooke Allen, number 44, the 6'1" junior forward out of Woodville, Ohio. We also have a new PA announcer yet again for this one, and he's got a whole show.
That's all right to have a show. You used to have a show.
We have a little bit of one, but he's got a whole performance going. That's for
all right.
Sure.
I don't mind that. It's a big
event. A little bit louder. That's all I noticed. Yep, exactly.
What? It's loud.
Take a look at the Leopards of Verne, who come into this one 5-2, 0-1 in neutral site games. Their starters will be numero 0, Marissa Howell, the 5'3" junior guard out of Santa Clarita, California. Number 2, one of the Lamone sisters, it is Valentina, the 5'8" senior guard out of Needles, California. Number 10, Naomi Jackson, the senior point guard, 5'5", of Moreno Valley, California. Number 20 is Alyssa Smith, the 5'11" freshman forward out of Spanaway, Washington. And number 25, Kiera Brown, the 5'11" senior forward out of Fremont, California, leads the team in points, rebounds, steals, and blocks as a first-team All-SCIAC selection last season coming into this one. So there are your starters. I'm Dave McHugh, Pat Coleman alongside. We're giving Gordon the game off.
It's a three-man weave, Dave.
It is definitely a three-man something. I will be, if you hear me go silent, because the donuts arrived. And I will be partaking in some delicious donuts.
I thought you were going to say something like donicity or something.
No, that's a good one.
I would have been all in favor of adding suffixes to words to make fun new things. You know what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my glasses on. That will help with this game. Court side, but you know.
Ohio Northern's going to be in the black uniforms with the orange numbers and trim. They'll be going right to left across your computer monitor, your big screen. Maybe it's your cell phone or it's just in your mind as you listen at home. Verne will be in their white uniforms, much better than yesterday with the green numbers and trim with a little bit of orange as well. They'll be going left to right in this first half.
David, I don't know if the viewers at home can see it. It's pretty subtle, but they've got these subtle gray leopard spots on them, too.
I think that it came with the uniforms yesterday, but because of the color, you couldn't see them as well.
Right, this is nice.
Ohio Northern wins the opening tip, and unlike the last game, we don't have a backcourt violation to start things off. One of those oddities in the game. Also had jump ball that did not alternate possessions by the time it was inbounded. Three-pointer from the wing, or from the top of the key, no good for Serban, as we are underway here in first half action in Division III women's basketball play here at the South Point Arena in Las Vegas. Turnaround jumper, no good, left short by Brown. That's interesting. Why are we going? Oh, no, I have it backwards. Just disregard me, everybody. Just forget it. Serban for three. Buried it.
I'll tell you, everything's been a little backwards today. Teams have sat on the wrong benches. They showed up wearing the wrong uniform colors.
Yeah, you know, that happened last game. Screwed me all up.
Right, coordinated, but wrong.
I mean, it was right, because I thought Trinity should be wearing the home uniform last game because they won the away previous, but not how we had
but the Sport Tours folks didn't think so.
This will be a held ball. Alternating possession belongs to the Leopards. gets you into that question we had with the Trinity Ohio Northern game, Pat. Okay, Tiger, you got leopards, and you got polar bears.
I mean, I think I use the exact same thing. If it's in the jungle, go leopards, and if it's in the polar regions, go polar bears.
I'm with you. I think you got a good cause. A three-pointer is missed in the corner by Howell. And here come the polar bears, coached by Mark Hilselman. In his 4th season, took over for Michelle Durand a handful of years ago. Ball out of bounds.
4 seasons ago, I would assume.
Yep, that's roughly. Give or take, depending on how you read stats. 8:34 to go here, first quarter. Polar Bears up 3-0. As we just like to slide into the soccer reference once in a while. Shot up, forced, no good. But we'll go to line will be Akamine, who's Lahaina, Hawaii. She averages nearly 10 points a game this season and is a 73% free throw shooter entering the event and hits the first one rather easily.
Akamine pretty good on their first game yesterday, in a game in which ONU beat Trinity 72-65. She finished with 0 for 3 from beyond the arc, however. It's something she's going to look to do a little bit better at today. She's a little bit better than 0% on the season.
Jackson brings it across the timeline, top of the key. She'll hand it off to Brown, who had a really good first half yesterday. Tired out in the second half. Now into the hands of Smith. Smith goes to the corner to Howell. Howell will find Lamont with 7 on the shot clock into Brown. Brown with the extra pass to Jackson on the backdoor cut. Gets the open layup, and they're on the scoreboard for the first time today.
That's nice. You know, Brown is a big, right? She's 5'11". She's got a lot of size, but you know, she's also averaging just under 2 assists a game. That's a nifty pass and a good thought to look for that extra throw.
2-3 zone from Leopards. 3 from Servin on the far side is missed. Rebound, Akamine puts it in, and it's a quick start for the Polar Bears, 7-2.
Servin's kind of struggled, right? Preseason All-American, postseason All-American last year also for D3Hoops.com. But she was just 1 of 4 yesterday. Only scored 7 points, but she had 7 rebounds and 6 assists.
Air ball in the three-pointer by Smith, and we'll get a few subs into the game for the Polar Bears as Servin will stay out there, apologies.
Subs.
As Abby Dixon, the junior guard, 5'3" out of Germantown, Ohio, enters the game. I say that because I have to remind myself it's Ohio, not Maryland.
Good call.
I'll also double check other subs, including the one who just had the ball, number 34, Chloe Glenn, the 5'10" freshman guard out of Glendorf, Ohio. As Akamine hits the jumper from about 8 feet. And the other sub into the contest for the Bears. Lost her. There she is. Noelle Ruan, the 5'8" sophomore guard out of St. Mary's, Ohio. As Brown gets the ball in the post, kicks it back out. Jackson for 3. Left it long, and the rebound pulled down by Ruan. Polar Bears looking to keep the pace up, get it up ahead to Ruan. Ruan will kick it back to Servin as she hits the deck. They'll pass it around to the far side, wide open look for Glenn, and Glenn splashes it from about 15 feet on the baseline. 11-2.
Quick start, obviously, for the Polar Bears. They're a team that, you know, struggled, lost a couple of games this season, but has to come off after their game against Trinity with a little bit more confidence, and they're using that here as part of this big start.
Brown, turn around on the baseline, good. She's able to hit that. And that will draw a timeout from Anthony Mason, the head coach of Laverne. It's a 30-second timeout, so we'll obviously keep it here, but he wants to talk to his team here. I saw them as I was entering the arena this morning ahead of our first game. Good to catch up with Coach Mason in his first year. He came from Vassar College in upstate New York.
Yeah.
Getting a return to the West Coast, where he was a Cal State Long Beach grad. I remember when he got the Vassar job, we all kind of shook our heads a little bit, but some conversations with people told him that Vassar job was a really good one for him to take, show that he could make some developments and improvements at Vassar, which he did, which would lead to other job openings, and Laverne opened up surprisingly to all of us. Right. So if you think about it, not surprisingly, in the offseason, the move made sense. Their former coach signed on with Elmhurst, his entire family still living in the Chicagoland area. So Mason took advantage of it. He takes over a very good Laverne program. And here they are, though, down 11-4 to Ohio Northern, still showing that 2-3 zone on defense. Bounce pass inside, looking for Glenn. Glenn will kick it back out, though, fire to the far wing. Three-pointer no good for Dixon. Fight for the rebound by Glenn. She puts it too hard off glass, and there'll be a foul on the rebound, and will go against the Leopards. They will call Alyssa Smith with a foul. Her first, team second, only 2 fouls so far in this game. As we are approximately we're about 4:20 into this contest. As Leopards will make a sub, bringing in Brianna Torres, the 5'5" senior guard out of San Fernando Valley, California. Akamine drives in, finds Glenn. Now they'll reset to the top of the key through Dixon. Now to Serban, the pre-All-American, as we mentioned, preseason All-American, postseason All-American. 7 on the shot clock. She's in a little bit of trouble. Finds Glenn on the far side of the court, gets it back. 3 seconds on the shot clock. Don't think she's aware. She goes for the pass, and Laverne's going to force the turnover there. That's where that can work in the first half, Pat, because you are farther away from your bench, and the defending bench is certainly not going to give you any help.
Yeah, and right, not a great possession. Obviously, you come up empty, not even having the awareness to know that your shot clock's running down.
Serban never even looked up. So Laverne back on offense here, looking to find some pace. Long three, thought her foot was on the line. The officials felt otherwise, as that is good for Torres, who shoots 39% from deep. She's the team's best shooter in general at 46% entering the event. Cuts the deficit to 4. Serban up top to Akamine. Skip pass to Serban. She'll drive in, now skip it back to the near side. Three-pointer coming. Back iron, no good for Dixon. A long rebound for the Leopards, who will transition to offense. Quick inside to Brown. Brown looking for some help, cannot get it. And then nice idea, just on the wrong page, as she was trying to find either Smith or one of her other teammates on the backside, and no one was there.
And you see Alyssa Smith just looking at Brown after that errant pass, going, calm down, calm down. That's the freshman to the senior.
They didn't need to rush that pass as Aaron Wiggins enters the game, the 5'6" senior out of Hellendale, California, making her 6th appearance on the year. 11-7, 4:15 to go first quarter. Into the corner, Akamine. She'll go up top to Soprano, who's into the game for the Polar Bears. Also back into the game is Allen. Soprano is a sophomore out of Cutler, Ohio. That shot no good, and the rebound collected once again by Torres, as the Leopards look to find a few more points cut into this deficit. Picks up her dribble in a tough spot, but is able to find Smith. Smith over to Wiggins, and a traveling violation as she dragged the pivot foot, trying to eventually release the pass to Howell.
Yeah, she looked up, then she double clutched the pass, and then it was too late to put the dribble down.
3:46 remaining here, first quarter, 11-7 after a quick start for the Polar Bears. They have gone cold the last couple of trips down the floor. 3:35 to go. Mason wanted to travel. Akamine throws it high off glass. Soprano nearly got the rebound, but it ends up in the hands of Smith instead for the Leopards.
Good battle right there. Keep that as a one-and-done possession. Good job, Laverne, defensively.
Brown hands back off to Howell. Looks like a little, maybe a zone look from Ohio Northern. We'll have to watch it. Howell steps in from about 17, no good. Fight for the rebound's going to get tied up for the second time this quarter. So alternating possession will belong to the Polar Bears, as they will bring in a couple of subs. Serban will return to the game.
I mean, Dave, I think you could do zone today.
Yeah.
Neither of these teams particularly good three-point shooting. Laverne about middle of the road in Division III at 28% from beyond the arc. We've talked about how this is a tough place to shoot sometimes, and Laverne was 5 of 21 here yesterday against Rhodes. I would suspect that you would sag and let them try, let it fly.
Peyton Warnecki into the game for the Polar Bears as well, the 5'9" senior forward out of Glandorf, Ohio. Soprano nearly lost the control there, gets it to Serban. Serban inside to Allen. Allen goes to work, puts up the baby hook over Brown. That one falls. Nice job there Polar Bears with their first points in a little bit of time, 13-7.
Like Allen, I like Chloe Glenn too. Freshman who comes off the bench to back her up. That's some good post presence for Ohio Northern this year.
Verne in a scoring drought, haven't scored in about 2.5. Foul called on the entry pass as it was trying to enter to Brown. Allen is going to be called for it, the second team All-OAC member last year, her first. As Allen will exit to the bench, and back into the game comes Chloe Glenn. She's the team's best shooter at 63% coming into this event, and actually did pretty well in the first game.
She did. That's what I was talking about. She's, had a great performance off the bench. 15 points in 19 minutes, 6 of 8 from the floor.
Well, she's going to pick up a foul here, though. No, that's Warnecki, I'm sorry, will pick up the foul. She wasn't quite in the right defensive position to stop Smith with the ball on her transition to the lane. Kayla Harang, the 6-foot freshman forward out of Los Angeles, enters the game. She'll replace Brown, who'll get a little bit of spell here with 2:21 remaining in the quarter.
Not as hot a start for Brown this time as it was last week, or yesterday.
One of our officials came up to me and remarked about how great a start she had in that game. Howell pumps up a three, nothing but net.
I think I heard the words Tim and Duncan used in that description yesterday. Was I wrong?
I think your colleague over there, Mr. Gordon Mann, did use the Tim Duncan reference. Of course, he's a Spurs fan, so that would make sense. You could spur him on
pretty easily.
Oh, nice track down by Serbin to keep that from going out of bounds on the errant pass.
Glenn had to give it up.
Leopards all over the place defensively, making it a nightmare for the Polar Bears. 6 on the shot clock. Serbin with it with 3. She'll force up the 3. Front iron no good. Crashing the boards with Soprano, but Howell will pull in the loose ball.
Interesting first 8.5 minutes here, Dave.
Now, Ohio Northern started with some confidence and really got going on offense, but Laverne has ticked it up on defense and has held the Polar Bears at 2 points in the last couple of minutes, and that's going to be an illegal screen. Good call there as Harang was setting the screen and stayed engaged with Benjamin, who was trying to fight through it, as Benjamin will leave. So that's her first foul.
It's also the third turnover of the first 8.5 minutes here for Laverne.
Akamine and Dials back into the game for the Bears. Joining Serbin and Glenn out there. Serbin has the ball. And Warnecki. So kind of a big lineup for Ohio Northern, though they don't take advantage of it in that occasion. Leopards with the ball under a minute to play here in the quarter.
Right, because you
Trail
got
by 3.
You got the net positive. Glenn is still in and Brown is out.
Howell for 3! Ties it up after they were down, I believe, at least 11-4 to start this game.
Yeah, they were down 11-2, in fact.
It was 11-2. I didn't want to gamble on that call.
This is not the place to do that. Don't bet on it, Dave.
28 seconds left, 12-second difference between shot and game clock. Akamine tries to force it to Warnecki. They're going to say it deflected off of a Leopard hand, and or a paw, I guess. So it will be Polar Bear possession. Into the game for the Polar Bears. We're going to have to go to the bench, or to our game sheet. 20. They're going deep early on here.
Give me a number.
24, sir. 24.
24, Lexi Brewer, a freshman out of Sydney, Ohio.
18 seconds on the game clock. 5 on the shot clock. Ohio Northern needs to do something. Warnecki doesn't pull the trigger. Akamine forces it up. Hits back iron. 8 seconds left. Offensive rebound for the Polar Bears. Not able to do something, but reaching over was Smith as Dials was forcing up the shot. So Smith will pick up her second foul. Team's 4th. Oh, they call it a harangue. Really? No, that's right. I apologize. It is harangue. Leopards are 6-0. 6-0 run, I should say, in the last 2:07. Missed field goal there. Free throw there. 4 of 5 on field goals is Laverne. In the meantime, Ohio Northern is 1 for 9. That's their first point in 2.5 minutes of play. And they take a 1-point lead with a handful of seconds left in the quarter. Jackson across the timeline, all the way into the paint, puts it up, and just missed the layup. So Ohio Northern started rather strong, but Laverne came roaring back, and it's a 14-13 lead for Ohio Northern here at the end of the first quarter. We'll take a break. When we come back, second quarter action here from the D3Hoops.com Classic.
For the love of the game, but for those of us who are Division III student athletes, it's more than that, a lot more.
Sure, the game is important, but as we work so hard to build both mind and body, it's more about team.
That is why NCAA Division III teamed up with Special Olympics, and in giving the gift of sport to those for whom it seemed an impossible dream, we are working to make this a better world.
Help us keep that dream alive.
You can make a difference.
We've got more schools than Division I, more fans than Division II, and more upsets than March Madness. There's nearly 850 programs with over 11,000 games leading to 2 national championships. And we've been covering it all for over 2 decades. From Eastern to Occidental, from Puget Sound to Piedmont, from Southwestern to the University of New England, and from Hope to Calvin. Nobody covers Division III basketball like we do. We're D3Hoops.com at www.d3hoops.com.
Got to hit the cord as we're coming back for second quarter action. 14-13 the lead for Ohio Northern, who's shooting 5 of 15 from the floor at 33%, 1 for 7 from deep, 3 for 4 from the free throw line. For the Laverne, they are 5 of 13. So the same amount of makes and 2 less shots at 38.5%. They are 3 of 6 though from beyond the arc. They have not been to the free throw line. Leading scorer for Ohio Northern is Akamine for 6. Laverne's leading scorer is Howell with the same amount on 2 huge three-pointers. As we're back on our way, Dave McHugh alongside Pat Coleman. Laverne with possession. They're in the home white uniforms with the green numbers and trim and a little bit of orange as well. Taking on the other team with orange in their colors. Wearing black, though, on the road jerseys, the Ohio Northern Polar Bears. Harang to Jackson. Jackson for 3. Splash down!
Nice look. Right, you give Jackson some room. She was 0 of 2 from beyond the arc here yesterday, but beginning to see that range just a little bit.
First lead of the game for the Leopards. 16-14 here, early second quarter, but it's tied up as quickly back up the other end. Brooke Allen hits the layup on Brown as Brown is back into the game. We'll reset the floor here for everybody. For Laverne, it's Jackson, Smith, Brown, Limon, and Howell. For Ohio Northern, it's Serban, Dials, Akamine, Warnecki, and Allen, the starting 5. Inside to Brown. Brown, quick turnaround as a triple team comes over, and she's able to hit that one.
There you go.
That could start her up a little bit here as the Leopards retake the lead, 18-16 here.
Yeah, that's the Brown game we really saw and really liked yesterday, especially in the first 20 minutes of that game.
On the drive, and foul from Lexi Brewer on the drive from Kim Leon. Correct, she got that ball wrong. As Layla Dials with the drive. The foul from Tay Limon, the sophomore guard out of Needles, California. I think I got my 24s confused earlier. That's my fault.
Events are happening in real time, Dave.
Yes, they are. First free throw good for Dials, 64% free throw shooter. 1 more to tie. And does so as we're knotted at 18. Jackson will bring it across the timeline with Alyssa Smith, Brown, Taylor Moan, and one more hiding in the corner on me. Brown's going to take it from the elbow. No good. The other one I'm missing was Brianna Torres on the floor for Laverne. Quickly up ahead to Dials. She'll get it back to Serban, who will go to work. She'll pass it inside to Allen. Allen on Brown. Nice up and under move, but could not convert, and then draws the foul as Jackson had pulled down the rebound and Allen got caught in a bad spot, and that'll be second foul on Allen. So she'll have to exit, and back into the game comes Chloe Glenn.
You know, Glenn played slightly more than half of that first quarter. And, you know, as you alluded to, Dave, probably going to have to play a big role here in quarter number 2 as well.
Brown with the ball. Glenn marking her. Gets it inside to Smith. Smith throws it away, but then tracks it down.
Serban got the deflection, just couldn't control it to a teammate.
8 seconds on the shot clock. Fired to the far side of Lamont. Left it short. And it's picked up by Dials. Dials up ahead to Serbin. Serbin crosses it up, kicks it out to Akamine. Akamine can't do anything. She's cut off by Torres, but a nice up and under. Just left it to the left side.
Yeah, I mean, Akamine almost made something out of that possession where it really looked like she was going to be, backed out to the perimeter and make him start again.
Brown gets it. She'll hand it back to Jackson with a head of steam. Shakes off the defender and Serbin, but cannot hit. Serbin was in great position there on that play. She comes up the court, finds herself open, goes down the lane, but passes up the shot. Hands it off to Glenn, who draws the foul on Brown instead.
I wonder, Serbin was really down on herself after yesterday's game. Obviously, they won, right? But, she didn't have a great game herself. And she's 1 of 5 here, 1 of 4 from beyond the arc today. I just wonder if she's just like in her head a little bit about it and passing up that open chance to go to the basket.
Howell returns to the game for the Leopards. I agree with you. By the way, back into the game for the Polar Bears is Mackenzie Soprano, the sophomore 5'5" guard out of Cutler, Ohio.
Take that shot. You were a 5th-year senior. Do the thing.
Glenn misses the free throw, so now that Brown foul works to their advantage. It's not 2 points.
Yeah, Glenn's a 56% foul shooter. She does make the second.
And now 6 of 8 from the free throw line so far in this game. So Jackson will bring the ball up for the Leopards, who find themselves down by 1, 19-8, but they were down 11-2 to start this game. Smith with it. She's got Howell, will pass it, sets the screen for Howell. Howell will step to the right and shoot. She wasn't quite set there. Yep. Soprano pulls down the rebound and outlets it to Dials.
Yeah, off-balance shots.
Oh, then throws it away, trying to get it up to Serbin.
Protect that stat computer over there. They're almost as important as these computers here.
No, very, very important over there. It was well done by the stat crew there to make sure that they were not going to be interfered with. So our last women's game of the day and our penultimate women's game of the event.
Is it almost done, Dave? Dave's like, no.
No, I
do understand we have.
That's why I made sure to say penultimate women's game. Of
3.5 more games today, 3 full games tomorrow. But we are on the downside, the downslope of this 16-game marathon.
Brown with the turnaround over Glenn, who had a hand up. And the Leopards retake the lead 20-19.
I mean, this is a thing that we know, Dave, but one thing that Riley Zayas kind of reiterated when I talked to him at halftime of the previous game is like, this is an event that a D3 fan should be at. You got so many basketball games, so many different teams from across the country. You could come here and just watch basketball all day, all day, all day.
Price, too, as Soprano gets hacked as she goes up for that shot. Ohio Northern now scoreless in the last almost 3.5.
Riley also very complimentary of the fact that these broadcasts are free. They are not pay-per-view. They have audio. They have professional commentary, or at least they have you. They have you, an amateur commentary.
Free throws good. That's the only way the points for Ohio Northern so far in the last 3:24. They have 0 for field goals.
Dave is really trying to call the game.
That's all good. I get back in practice before I get back to calling several. When I get home, got a big game. I get to go attend first. Rochester at Johns Hopkins.
Dave, these are basically these games, and then the audio that we do on the title game are the only games I call all year.
3-pointer in the corner is good, as it was Viana Torres with the shot. And the Leopards' biggest lead of the game, 23-20 with 5:25 to go second quarter. I said Laverne could be a thorn in Ohio Northern's side as we wrapped up the last broadcast, and it's starting to look a little more accurate than I honestly thought I was portraying.
Yeah, what's the next step up?
Dials forces her way in and gets that one to fall, cuts the deficit to 1.
They're not a thorn in the side right now. They're a claw in the face, Dave.
Yeah, fair. Yeah, I definitely didn't describe it well. Jackson will get it to Smith. Smith to Howell, looking for Brown inside. They'll get it to her in a great spot. Double team comes over, swats the pass from Brown, but Brown now with a chance on the baseline. That will not count, and she was fouled on the turn, and she and Smith discussed what they wanted to do on that play.
Luann comes over for the double team on Brown. She's got her arms up, deflects that Brown pass.
Dixon back in. Serbin will exit. Brown does not get the ball in the inbound. Great play by Glenn to stay with her and deflect that out of bounds.
Yeah,
19 on the shot clock.
Deny the inbounds, right? You taught that in 5th grade.
Sometimes I watch, wondering if anybody has learned that at that age group.
It depends on, are you in a CYO league or in an AAU league or something?
CYO.
Yeah, I think I learned those things. I got fundamentals of basketball.
It's all about cover your offense.
I wasn't super good at them.
3-corner in the corner, no good. 3-pointer in the corner, no good. And it's off of Jackson out of bounds. So we'll go back to Ohio Northern as Serban's rest on the bench lasted all of 3 seconds.
14 seconds.
14 seconds, okay. Generous.
I was looking at substitution log for the first time today. Right at the right time.
4:30 left to go here in this first half. Leopards lead 23-22 on the Polar Bears. Serban with the ball, 11 on the shot clock around the Glenn screen, but Brown stays with her. She's in a double team disaster there. Ball is loose on the ground. Glenn gets to it and Brown ties it up. It'll stay with the Bears, but 3 seconds on the shot clock.
It's Brown with the mobility to come out and double team 5'5" Bryn Serban on the perimeter. That's kind of crazy. I mean, she's going back to the bench because she's got 2 fouls, so you want to protect that, but man.
Yeah, she stayed with her and shut down Serban. And what made it tougher was Serban wanted to go the direction Brown was parked in.
3 seconds to shoot here.
Yep, 3 seconds left. Laverne brings in Harang and Wiggins. Quickly, Akamine for 3, left it short, got the rim.
That got the rim.
Yep,
yeah.
It did. This horn just doesn't turn off on the reset. I've seen that a few times.
It didn't reset either.
Yeah, no, he hit it and the horn just sticks. It stays. It's a quirk with his horn. They call Wiggins for the foul. Team's 4th, and so no free throws as of yet. Yeah, I saw it happen yesterday. It kind of caught me by surprise myself. So we'll get an inbounds play here. And Glenn gets it. She'll hand it back off to Serban, who will drive in. High off glass, missed it. Glenn fights for the rebound, puts it up. She'll draw the foul on Torres, it looks like, by the way she reacted. She didn't like it, but she reached in as Glenn was going up with a shot. She had stayed straight up. There's no call there.
Meanwhile, for Serban, that's just a very high-effort possession. Inbound the pass, inbound the ball, take it back from Glenn, run all the way around, drive the basket, doesn't get it to fall.
Valentina Limon back into the game as Glenn hits the first free throw. And we're tied yet again at my favorite number, 23-23. 3:54 to go here, second quarter. Second free throw up, back iron, no good. Good job of screening out and fighting for the rebound by Wiggins. So Laverne will bring it across the timeline. Doing the honors is Torres. Torres is going to pop the 3 early in the shot clock. Missed it. Long rebound for Dial. She'll come up the floor. Sorry, that's Dixon. Off glass and in.
2-on-3 fast break, but Dixon was just a step ahead.
Yeah, she was ahead of everyone, yep. Howell get the ball across the timeline, and suddenly it's a 2-point lead for the Bears, as these two teams have traded the lead for much of the first quarter and second quarter, and another illegal screen, and you could see it in the corner of my eye. Harang is not coming set when the defender is coming toward her. She's moving until they make contact. Listen, it's not the screener's responsibility to move to set that screen. It's their teammate. If the teammate can't drag the defender into position, it's not your responsibility. She picks up her 3rd, she has to leave, and Brown has to return with her 2 fouls.
Yeah, this is a big 3-14 for her as well, right? You've already committed the quote-unquote cardinal sin of letting somebody get 3 fouls in the first half.
She does it again. They almost pinned Serban again. She's chasing her. It's Brown I was talking about. Serban with the ball again. Now she's got a one-on-one matchup with Torres. 12 seconds on the shot clock. Hands off to Dixon into the corner. 3-pointer coming from the wing. No good, and Brown pulls down the rebound.
So much energy.
I mean, she was all the way up here at midcourt, and then she grabs a rebound down at the post.
Yeah.
But that's also why she was probably a little bit tired at the end of the first game. In the corner.
She did play 30 minutes yesterday.
They will get it to Torres near side. Now to Limon, now back into Brown. Brown turnaround on a double team and hits it. Wow. If you're going to hit shots like that, there's no defense that's going to stop you.
No, that is true. Not at this level, that's for sure.
25-25, 2:18 remaining in the first half.
Nice little turnaround fadeaway.
Laverne.
We saw a couple of those yesterday from her, too.
Oh, absolutely. She's great to watch.
Again,
there she is again.
Teeing up Serban 35 feet from the hole.
And Ohio Northern cannot take advantage of the clear, open man. Serban with a running three, missed it. And missed the putback from Akamine. And a missed opportunity with under 2 minutes to play in the half. And Laverne will bring it across and maybe slow things down here. Let Brown get set. 1:41 to go. Limon, they're trying to get it into Brown. Forced it that time, though. Wiggins did what everyone knew she was going to do, and they get the steal. Here comes Serban the other direction, off balance,
there you go.
And lays her home.
Just a second made field goal for Serban. She's got 5 points now today.
27-25 Laverne. You can't, listen, everyone knows you're going to Brown. You can't be so obvious about the pass. A little pump fake or something.
Right.
Torres with it. She's being harassed by Serban. He's clearly gained a little bit of confidence here in the last couple of minutes. Torres waves off Wiggins' help. Now Brown will come up and lurk on Serban for the screen. Minute left to go in the half. 3 seconds on the shot clock. Torres finally gives up the ball to Brown. Brown from about 18, no good. May have guessed on the distance, but who cares? And then Torres with a lazy foul as Akamine was trying to get past her. And it will be free throws here for the Polar Bears.
And a whole set of substitutions here as well.
We will reset the floor in a moment.
Not a great offensive possession, though, right? You talked about Torres. She waved off help. We're just basically playing a two-person game, her and Brown. And when she couldn't get past Serban to find anything resembling an open look, dumped it to Brown for a mid-range jumper. That's not the ideal there.
Actually, it was even longer than mid-range, yeah.
It's like 15, 16.
Just inside the three, yeah.
Just outside the foul line.
Yep, it's not where you want it. 2.4 seconds left, and free throw good. 3-point lead for the Bears. Akamine will leave with that, and Soprano back into the game.
Feels like it's the biggest lead for Ohio Northern in this quarter.
Right, biggest lead, but it's not, but it is in the quarter. You're right, absolutely. 11-2 feels like such a long time ago. Brown has the ball. She'll hand off to Howell, who thought about the three, gets around the screen from Brown and hits it.
Wow.
That was herky-jerky, but it worked anyway, and it's a tie ball game with under 30 seconds to play.
Howell 3 for 5 from beyond the arc yesterday. That's a nifty-looking shot. That is her third here today.
Serban with the ball, being guarded by Jackson. 13 on the game clock. Shot clock is off. She'll pass it inside to Ruan. Into the corner. Soprano saves the ball. Dials will force up the shot and hit it.
Wow.
Clock continues to run. Jackson will release that way late and leave it well short. And the Polar Bears will somehow take a 2-point lead into the half. I got nothing. I'm more confused as to what may have happened there at the end than anything, but hats off to Laverne to fight back into that.
Yeah, that last offensive possession, right, it's just one-on-one. There's no longer Brown up top trying to harass people. You're playing it safe defensively with the 2 fouls on Brown and already having one of your key post players in even deeper foul trouble. And when you don't have that, when you don't have someone haranguing, as it were, the ball handler out on the perimeter, it makes it a little easier to get a look.
We'll take a break here. Coming up, Pat Coleman sat down, or I guess stood, with a couple of Westminster players. We'll hear from them and maybe some others. We'll see what we'll put together here in halftime for you to listen to. It's our classic conversations that were taking place with all the teams. You're listening to the D3Hoops.com Classic from South Point as we are at halftime. And Ohio Northern and Laverne playing a good one. It's Ohio Northern in the lead, 30-28 here on D3Hoops.com.
more schools than Division I, more fans than Division II, and more upsets than March Madness. There's nearly 850 programs with over 11,000 games leading to 2 national championships. And we've been covering it all for over 2 decades. From Eastern to Occidental, from Puget Sound to Piedmont, from Southwestern to the University of New England, and from Hope to Calvin. Nobody covers Division III basketball like we do. We're D3Hoops.com at www.d3hoops.com.
For the love of the game. But for those of us who are Division III student athletes, it's more than that. A lot more.
Sure, the game is important, but as we work so hard to build both mind and body, it's more about team.
That is why NCAA Division III teamed up with Special Olympics, and in giving the gift of sport to those for whom it seemed an impossible dream, we are working to make this a better world.
Help us keep that dream alive.
You can make a difference.
The beautiful thing about a liberal arts education is you have to take classes all over the place.
So I think we're very versatile in terms of what we learn and what we know.
And because of that, you might find love in an area of study that you've never been exposed to before.
And here at Rhodes, you can make that a double major, you can make that a minor. Anything that you can think of, you can kind of take that and run with it. And Rhodes is here to support you through that.
I believe sportsmanship is a mutual admiration and respect for your fellow competitors. We all go through a lot to reach the point where we compete against one another. It's important to realize that. So once we're finally on the field or on the court or on the starting block, we look at each other as fellow human beings and not just competitors. Being able to recognize the hard work that other athletes are putting in creates a more positive and inclusive environment.
D3Hoops.com Classic in Las Vegas, Nevada, part of the 2023 D3Hoops.com Classic. We have a classic conversation. We're talking with Talisha Washington, the head coach of Westminster, Missouri, and Annette Ramirez. Annette Ramirez, a guard who made the all-tournament team. Now, I'm going to start, Coach. Obviously, you guys struggled a little bit here, maybe struggled a little bit to shoot the ball. What do you guys take away from this experience, like basketball-wise?
You know, I think, a little bit. We struggled to shoot early on, but we did a good job of having a better shot selection this game than what we did on Wednesday night. You know, this experience has been great to play 2 really good teams, you know, and you know, I think we took a lot away that we can improve on and grow on. You know, I just think that, you know, we were exposed in some areas that we need to prepare for before conference. So we're excited to be able to go travel back home and work on those weaknesses, I guess you could say, to help us become a better team.
Right. I mean, you face an undefeated team and you face a team that comes in with 1 loss.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, both teams, like I said, played very well, high energy, up-tempo speed that we need, you know. I think a little bit of us that kind of hurt us on is our transition defense wasn't great, but we did a good job of causing pressure. You know, we did a good job causing pressure the first half and kind of picked it up again in the fourth quarter, just fell short. All
right, Annette, I wanted to talk to you about, you know, difference between game 1 and game 2. We definitely saw flashes today in the second game, the game against Occidental, where you guys were putting it all together for some periods. When things are clicking for Westminster, for you guys, what does it look like? What else do we see that maybe we didn't see this week?
I mean, you see a lot of fun just from each of the girls. Everyone gets excited for everybody. The bench is loud and stuff, and I think we saw that more this game, which was really nice. We showed areas of growth that we're ready to take into conference play and stuff, and these 2 teams really made us better. I mean, it stinks to go 0-2, but I'm proud of my team.
All right, I understand that your grandma was here to see you play. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, I haven't seen her in so long, so I mean, it's awesome. I think she came from like Mexico and stuff, and I got family from California, so it was really nice to get 2 games out here to where my family can come in and visit.
And I'm sorry, people just walking through the background of the interview. So, right, your grandma makes the trip. I'm super impressed by that. That's really good to hear.
Yeah, no, I'm super blessed and thankful to have them all here.
All right, so you guys are done with the basketball portion. there's obviously other things to do in Los Angeles despite, or in Los Angeles. There's great things to do in Las Vegas in addition to basketball. What do you guys have scheduled, or what have you already done Vegas-wise?
Well, we were fortunate to have a lot of our families come down to Vegas with us. So a lot of this is a lot of the kids are going out with their families to experience Las Vegas and you know, going down, checking out the strip. We saw I had myself, my daughter and I, we went to see the Bellagio fountain, so that was really cool. Yep. To be able to experience that. But I think the girls are just enjoying time with their families and having the opportunity to see what Vegas is like. So tonight we'll have that opportunity to do that.
Have you traveled a lot, Annette?
A little bit. I mean, my parents are from Mexico, so I've been there a few times. Yep. We travel every other season, so my freshman year we went to Florida, and that was a lot of fun. Okay. We got better there as well. So, I mean, but this is my first time in Vegas. I've really enjoyed it, and I can't wait to spend it with my family.
Yeah, what do you hope to do?
Oh, I'm not sure. I'm not even familiar with the area. We went to Fremont. We walked the strip, so, I mean, I don't know what else to do, but, I mean, I'm just excited to visit with them and then just spend the rest of the time with my team.
Yeah, we definitely recommend, like, people watching on the strip is a lot of fun. There's a lot of teams that go out and see a show. Blue Man Group is popular among teams to go see, so kind of Blue Man Group is maybe not my style, but that's a lot of fun. Of course, get a good meal. So we appreciate you guys being here in Las Vegas, Nevada, and you know, good luck with the rest of your conference schedule. Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Thanks, Annette.
Thank you.
It's Westminster here at the D3Hoops.com Classic. D3Hoops.com Classic in Las Vegas.
Responsibility is being accountable for your words and actions, first and foremost. It also is an obligation to be a positive influence in the communities around you. Being in a D3 program, you're going to have lots of different opportunities. You're not just an athlete, you're also involved in student life. Your academics are extremely important. We give a lot of our student athletes responsibilities right from the start by giving them leadership opportunities, by having them engage in the community, being a positive influence. That's being a responsible person.
Being at a liberal arts school and majoring in business, it definitely gives you both perspectives because I'm taking classes about art and music. I've been taking religious studies classes, but then I'm also taking these very specific classes about accounting or statistics and finance. So I'm glad that I went to a liberal arts school because I definitely got a completely different side of the education rather than just being a business major.
I used to never really talk, ever. I was afraid if I said something wrong, everyone would laugh at me. But then I started to play golf with Special Olympics. It helped me to find my voice. And now everyone else is speechless.
We've got more schools than Division I, more fans than Division II, and more upsets than March Madness. There's nearly 850 programs with over 11,000 games leading to 2 national championships. And we've been covering it all for over 2 decades. From Eastern to Occidental, from Puget Sound to Piedmont, from Southwestern to the University of New England, and from Hope to Calvin. Nobody covers Division III basketball like we do. We're D3Hoops.com at www.d3hoops.com.
In Las Vegas, Nevada at the D3Hoops.com Classic. Day 1 in full swing, and Game 5 of that day was a barn burner, a 1-point win for Trinity of Texas, 84-83 over Clark. I'm here with head coach Jimmy Smith of the Tigers and junior, whose name I had a moment ago, and is Jacob Harvey. This is how things go sometimes after 5 games. A barn burner and excitement down to the end. First off, Coach, you came back out to the bench and one of your fans said, "You did it." Like, literally, it felt like he was calling you specifically, and I wanted to get your reaction to that because I know you did all of it.
Absolutely not. But no, it was a gutsy effort by the guys. You know, even down the stretch, we had some fouls to give, and I thought they did a really good job of executing the game plan and making them really work to waste some time before we took our fouls. And ultimately, I thought we forced them into a really tough shot to end the game.
Jacob, that end game sequence, like, They get the ball across midcourt with about 23 seconds left. They call timeout. And, yeah, you guys make them inbound the ball. Tell us a little bit about, like the defensive mindset you have to keep up at that point when you're going back there on defense every single time.
Yes, sir. Yeah, we knew we had a couple fouls to give. Yeah. We just had to be solid, believe in ourselves, and know we just need to stay strong defensively. And, yeah, we stayed strong, got the stop.
All right, you had a great day from the foul line. Might have struggled a little bit from the floor, but, as you end up with a game-high 21 points, almost half of them at the foul line, tell us a little bit about, the pride you take in shooting free throws.
Yes, sir. Yeah, they're free throws. So no one's guarding you, so, I should have made a little more, but it's all right. Just got to concentrate on each one, and my teammates are getting me in positions to go to the foul line and get fouled, so all credit to them.
He's mad he missed 4. He just said that when we were walking over here.
Well, I was going to ask, out of 14 free throws, what's the number you want?
14.
Yeah, right. They are free for a reason, right? I totally get that. All right, you guys are off to a great start this season. Obviously, it's been a couple of weeks since we've had a poll. You were ranked 22 coming into this, and have an opportunity to obviously make another statement. But tell us a little bit about, if I could get your take on Clark as a team, how they compare to the teams you've faced, that sort of thing.
Yeah, I felt like Clark was the most similar to us of the teams that we've played. We like to play fast. They like to play fast. They have really good perimeter play. They're a good inside player. And so we thought it was going to be a really interesting matchup because our styles are similar. We've played some other teams like Chicago, Washington Lee, Claremont, who are bigger, and play a little bit more methodically. Yeah. And so we knew it was going to be a really tough matchup. And, one obviously had a great game, and they shot it really well from 3. We knew it was going to be a challenge, which is what we wanted. We want to see where we're at, and we hope that we're in some games like this and the game tomorrow in March. That's kind of what we're comparing this to, is an NCAA tournament type feel, because these are NCAA tournament caliber teams, we feel like.
Yeah, and that's what it felt like to us too. Let me ask you, so Coach said that they, felt a lot like you guys in terms of the kind of pieces and the kind of weapons they have. What does that do for you as a guy when you're, lining up against your counterpart, or when you're watching them on video and preparing for a game like this?
Yes, sir. Yeah, they play similar to us, so we see that every day in practice. So it was fun to get them down the court with them, and they play fast, and they kept hanging around and banging threes. So that's what we like to do. So made it all around fun game.
All right, so it's a Trinity weekend here. You guys there are 3 teams, 3 schools here that have both of their programs. What's it like to have both of your programs here this weekend?
It's awesome. It's like a little home away from home. Get to cheer on the girls and see them compete. So, and also see them off the court, and so it's fun to be here with them.
Do you guys what are the Las Vegas-y things you guys are doing this weekend? I say weekend because it feels like that to me, but I know it's like a week.
Right now, focusing on two wins, and then after that, we'll see.
All right, so I got to ask you that question. You must have a plan.
Yeah, so we did some bowling and some hanging out yesterday here in the hotel. We talked about really locking in for the games. And then tomorrow night, we haven't decided what show yet. We're gonna go check out a show, and then before we leave, we're gonna go to the Strip the next day, walk around and do all that stuff as well. So we have a lot of time on the back end to knock some things out.
Yeah, this is the place to do that. I think almost every year I hear somebody say they took their team to see Blue Man Group.
They're one of the ones on the list that we're talking about, so we may be there.
All right. That's Jimmy Smith and Jacob Harvey, head coach and junior guard for Trinity. That team victorious here in the first game at the D3Hoops.com Classic.
Welcome back. Stats for these 2 teams at halftime is Ohio Northern and Laverne in women's basketball. The Bull Bears lead 30-28. Ohio Northern shooting 10 of 28 from the floor, but 1 of 10 from beyond the arc. 9 of 14 from the free throw line. In the meantime, Laverne is 11 of 26 from the floor, 6 of 12 from beyond the arc. Have not hit the free throw line yet. Ohio Northern is winning the rebounding battle 20-15 and only turned the ball over twice as we get ready to start second half action.
Dave, that's 1 more 3 than Laverne had all of yesterday.
That is a good point. As we are back underway, go ahead.
3 good points, or 18.
Yes, very, very worthy of mentioning. I had to think of a different way of saying that. As the first shot for Laverne is missed, it's going to be tied up immediately. The alternating possession will go back to the Bears. Leading scorer for Ohio Northern in that one was 2 players, and Dials and Akamine. It was 7 each, so Akamine had a quiet second quarter. Laverne is being paced by Howell with 9 points and Brown with 8. so far in this one. Leading rebounder, Smith and Brown with 3 for Laverne, and it is Ruan and Glenn with 4 each for the Polar Bears.
Nice.
As Akamine starts things off strong.
Yeah, nice move, nice spun back, got herself a little bit of separation. Fell away just a smidge, under control, nice 2.
Laverne is in the home whites with the green numbers and trim along with a little bit of orange, going right to left across your computer monitor, big screen. Maybe it's just in your mind or in your cell phone, whatever it may be.
Do you remember when we were talking about it's okay for ONU to play zone
Jackson
because
off glass, yep.
Laverne wasn't hitting any threes yesterday?
No, they're hitting.
They did start still.
They started with a zone there, and Jackson blew through it.
Yep.
So
I mean, their bigs have some foul trouble too, right? So.
Yep.
Maybe that's
Akamine with the ball. Man-to-man from Laverne. Ohio Northern in the black uniforms with the burnt orange numbers and trim. All the way to the rim, but missed the layup. Did Dials. Will go back the other direction with Jackson with the ball.
It's just Allen with 2 fouls and Glenn with 1 as far as the bigs for ONU.
8:22 remaining here in the third quarter at our last women's game of the day. We got 3 men's games, good men's games coming up. Big 3 is good as Laverne is hitting on the 3-point line. Alyssa Smith, the Spanaway, Washington native, drills that one, and Laverne retakes the lead, 33-32. We probably should have mentioned everybody was on the floor to start this one. We did not. As a response from Dials for 3. Serban, Dials, Akamine, Warnecki, and Allen on the floor for Ohio Northern. That's their 5 starters. The same for Laverne. It's Howell, Limon, Jackson, Smith, and Brown, and it's Valentina Limon. There are 2 on this team. As Jackson will drive and force the foul there. We'll go to the line, and she draws it on. Is it Warnecki or Warnecki? Dealer's choice? Because I've been going Warnecki.
Let me see if I can find anything out about that before.
Jackson to the line, by the way. 3 of 8 coming into the event from the free throw line. Misses that one. She is now 0 for 1 on the day. That's the first time Laverne's been to the free throw line in this game.
Shooting a bunch of 3s, that makes some sense.
It's second, 1 out of 2 there. Cuts the deficit to within 1. Serban brings it across the timeline with Jackson harassing her. She gives it off to Akamine.
Warnecki is correct.
Warnecki. Okay, I'll correct myself then.
And you know what? I like a pronunciation guide that tells you which syllables to accent.
Well, it's always easier as a turnaround jumper from Allen is good to know which syllable you want to put your emphasis on.
Correct, indeed.
That's in case the kids are listening at home. They do get a kick out of me saying that part. 7 minutes to go. Howell with the ball. She'll step inside the 3, misses it to the left. Battle for the rebound goes in favor of Smith. Her putback draws attention, and she'll go to the line to shoot free throws. Looks like the foul is on. It is Warnecki. That's her 2nd in this quarter and 3rd overall, so she will exit. And Alyssa Smith, correction, Noelle Ruan will come in. Smith's the one shooting the free throws. Hits the first. Smith coming in to the event. 82% free throw shooter. Just a couple of tenths, well, a couple of percentage points as a 3rd best shooter on the team. And she hits both, and the Leopards retake the lead. 36-35 with 6:47 remaining here in the 3rd. He's back home, and I'm Dave McHugh. Welcome courtside to the 13th annual D3Hoops.com Classic. As Dials gets to the baseline, puts up the shot, it's no good, and Howell will pick up the rebound off the floor. Jackson across the timeline. Man-to-man defense from the Polar Bears. Powell posts up. Serban sags down. They now triple team. Brown kicks it out to Lamont, and then to Howell, back to Jackson in the corner for 3. Back iron, no good. And the rebound collected by Dials for the Bears.
Yeah, you might be able to give Jackson that much room. I wouldn't give Howell that much room the way she's shooting today.
Nice play by Brown to get a hand on the entry pass. And she got around Allen there.
First steal by the team as well as by Brown today.
5:55 to go. Jackson with the ball, gets it to Limon inside to Brown. Brown splits the double team and lays it home.
Yeah.
She's good.
Again, this is not a thorn to the side. This is a claw to the face. Leopards are right in this thing. In it. They're leading by 3.
It just might be possible. 5.5 to go. Dials throws that one up, misses it. Allen grabs the rebound, and her putback is good. It's now 38-37. Leopards have not led by more than 3 today. Polar Bears have been up by 9, believe it or not. Started the game leading 11-2 before the Leopards came back and tied it at 13 apiece. It was an 11-2 and then an 11-2 run either way as a foul called on Jackson's drive. As Allen will leave and so will Dials. Into the game comes Chloe Glenn along with Abby Dixon. And Brianna Torres into the game. She'll replace Jackson. And yes, there it is. Kayla Harang into the game as well for the Leopards. What are we doing here? Oh.
Inbounding on the baseline.
Howell looked confused there for a moment.
I was confused by players moving down the bench.
Yep, that confused me as well. As Torres hits the 3 in the wing. No, 2. It's a 2-pointer. Our official looked at me.
It looked right at you, Dave.
It was 2, damn it.
Every once in a while we get a call specifically at us.
Akamine step in on the elbow, no good.
There are 2 people making announcements in this building. Neither of them are official, of course.
No, of course not. Either's the scoreboard, technically. 40-37, Leopards the lead with 4:36 remaining.
And God forbid we make the stat crew official at all. We have to go by
Someone
a paper.
Is actually. No,
we have to go by a paper book still.
Yeah, but if stat crew has better information, you can correct it.
You can, but you're not required to.
Servin with the ball, 4:17 remaining in the quarter.
Servin
trailing by 3, fires 3, no good.
Well, I was going to say she was 2 of 9. I would say she's 2 of 10.
4:05 remaining.
Tough day for Servin for sure.
Tough week.
Well,
Howell for 3, back iron, no good.
At least yesterday she filled the rest of the box score with assists and rebounds. Right now, she's 2 for 10 from the floor, 1 rebound, 2 assists.
Dixon with it. Top of the key now to Ruan. Back to Dixon. Dixon picks up the dribble after 1. Bounce pass inside to Glenn. Back outside. 3-pointer. Beautiful shot for Ruan, who shoots 21% from deep, but that one looked good to tie it at 40-40.
First bucket of the night for Ruan. 3 points. Big shot.
Howell has the ball. Akamine in her face. Look at to the far side to Torres. Torres not even looking to try to entry pass it. Gets it to Smith. Smith will dribble into the post, kick it outside, 3-pointer coming. Rims out for Limon. Goes out of bounds, and it'll stay Leopards' possession as Brown will return to the game. And for the Polar Bears, they'll bring Soprano and Dials back into the game, replacing Akamine and Servin. In the meantime, for the Leopards, we watch Harang go off the floor hobbling. They'll also bring in Wiggins to replace Limon. So Harang is going straight to the trainer's table to get assessed on the back wall.
I don't mean to throw a monkey wrench in it. Soprano is what's on the pronunciation guide. I don't know if I can manage to...
Soprano?
Soprano.
Soprano, okay.
Accent on the last syllable.
Soprano, apologies. Because I was calling her Parma at one point yesterday. I have no idea where that came from.
I don't know what you were doing with that.
I was trying to figure out how to get Parmesan into the conversation.
Did the Sopranos come from Parma in Italy?
Dixon drive will draw the offensive charge is what she'll draw. As Torres was in there hanging out, checking out her social media, having a cafe latte before she got disrupted. In the game for the Leopards comes Tay Limon, the 5'9" sophomore guard out of Needles, California. Brooke Allen is returned for Ohio Northern. I noticed that Limon's sisters are never out there at the same time. Taylor Moore with the ball now, gets it to Howell, now over to the far side to Wiggins. Wiggins bounce pass into Brown. Soprano comes over and harasses the heck out of Brown. That's one of the rare times Brown has lost the ball in the post. 2:12 remaining. Here comes the Polar Bears in transition. We're still tied at 40 apiece. Soprano, lob pass to Allen, and there is a foul off ball. No, what, shooting? Oh, it's their fifth foul. No, it's their first. Shooting?
No.
Yes.
Well, nobody else thinks it's shooting, and neither do the other officials.
Yeah, she was leaving a pass there.
Kamira Mason making the call.
They're going to say 2 shots for Soprano.
Kamira Mason goes over to Vince Krastasik and convinces him.
Yeah, she was about the only one who felt that way for a while. Though, I shouldn't say that. I did see a good lobby from Hulselman. Now Soprano tells us the ball don't lie. Left the ball short. 2:06 remaining third. We're still tied at 40, and the free throw second one is good. So it's a 1-point lead for Ohio Northern. Hulselman actually taking some time, walked way off the bench to have a conversation with Glenn. In the meantime, Harang still being treated for something in her back. Three-pointer in the corner, left went way too long for Wiggins. And a rebound pulled down by Dials. Here come the Bears with a 1-point lead. Allen setting a screen. Torres gets around easily. Dials picks up her dribble, kicks it outside. Long distance three coming left to the right, catches nothing but air, as hanging her head is Alyssa Smith. Correction, I did it again. Noelle Ran.
Yeah, Ruan, I mean, that's about the spot she hit from a couple of minutes ago. This one, a little less on target.
Torres will bring it across the timeline. 1:26 left to go here in the third. It's a 41-40 lead for the Polar Bears. Leopards trying to do something. Brown, quick move. She had drew 4 Ohio Northern defenders and then could not get the bounce pass to Taylor to work out. Four defenders.
Third turnover for Brown.
Yeah, second in the last couple of minutes.
Just 8 on the game, though, and just 4 turnovers for Ohio Northern.
1:05 remaining.
Well, there we go.
There you go. Mention it and it shall happen, sir.
I mean, everything happens in Division III.
Back in, Alyssa Smith.
Including routine turnovers.
Brown will sit probably for the rest of the quarter, give her a break ahead of the fourth.
Yep, smart. You extend that quarter break.
Mm-hmm.
You get your player maybe 5 minutes of rest or even more for 1 minute of game time off the floor. That's smart. Now just don't give up a couple of big buckets and regret that.
Torres with the ball. She finds Smith far side, three-pointer coming. Front iron no good. Thought that was going to fall.
Seemed like it. A lot of things happened for Laverne today.
Far side with it. It's Dixon. Dixon finds Smith. Smith finds Soprano.
They have pulled off, though. 1 of 7 from 3 in the third quarter.
Allen kick out. Now into Dials. Dials on the wing. 10 on the shot clock into Glenn. Glenn over Smith. Cannot convert. Smith rips down the rebound.
That's a big rebound. That's something you would have thought they might have missed with Brown on the bench, but nice rebounding presence right there.
Shot clock is off. Under 10 seconds to go here in the quarter. Laverne looking to take a lead into the fourth. Almost an illegal screen there on Smith as Torres gets all the way in, gets partially blocked by Soprano, and that's how this one will finish, with Ohio Northern clinging to a 1-point lead at the end of 3. 41-40, Ohio Northern lead on Laverne as we finished 3 quarters of action. We got 1 more quarter to go. You're watching the D3Hoops.com Classic from South Point Arena in Las Vegas.
For the love of the game. But for those of us who are Division III student athletes, it's more than that, a lot more.
Sure, the game is important, but as we work so hard to build both mind and body, it's more about team.
That is why NCAA Division III teamed up with Special Olympics, and in giving the gift of sport to those for whom it seemed an impossible dream, we are working to make this a better world.
Help us keep that dream alive.
You can make a difference.
We've got more schools than Division I, more fans than Division II, and more upsets than March Madness. There's nearly 850 programs with over 11,000 games leading to 2 national championships. And we've been covering it all for over 2 decades. From Eastern to Occidental, from Puget Sound to Piedmont, from Southwestern to the University of New England, and from Hope to Calvin. Nobody covers Division III basketball like we do. We're D3Hoops.com at www.d3hoops.com.
Welcome back as we get ready for fourth quarter action. Ohio Northern in the first half was 1 of 10 from beyond the arc. They were 2 of 4 in those 10 minutes we just played. Laverne at halftime was 6 of 12 from beyond the arc. They were 1 of 8 in those last 10 minutes. A little bit of a difference in outside shooting, but it hasn't really changed the scoreboard. Polar Bears in the lead, 41-40 on the Leopards as we get ready for the last 10 minutes of this one. I'm Dave McHugh, back home alongside. Here at South Point Arena in Las Vegas, Gordon Mann's around. Ryan Coleman, our photographer, is here. Riley Zayas has even arrived to hang out with us for this event, though he's going to cheat. He not only arrived late, he's going to go home early.
That's all right. I mean, we're not asking him to broadcast 16 games either.
Someone might as well sit here and enjoy these games with us.
Right, so you talked about the offensive struggles in quarter number 3, Dave, but, I mean, Laverne still won the quarter. If you're playing in the old CBA, that's worth a point. And, they 12-11, they cut the lead from 2 at half to 1 right now.
Jackson with the balls. Hands off to Taylor Mall in the corner. She misses the three-pointer and battle for the rebound. Akamine goes tumbling down. They're going to call I think they're going to call Torres with the foul. She raises her hands and say, yeah, it was me. Mainly but to keep it away from Brown.
They call it to Brown, though, and that is her third.
Team's third? Or her third, team's first, is what I was trying to say.
She did a good job of trying to draw the foul to herself, did Limon, but it did not work.
(41-40), forced inside, offensive foul called on Glenn.
Glenn, great game yesterday. He's kind of struggled today. That's foul number 2 for her. Not really in foul trouble here at this point.
We have been stuck at 41-40 in a bit of time.
Since 2:06 of the previous quarter, so just about 3 minutes of action.
Jackson picks up her dribble, needs some help, trying to get it to Brown. Now she'll just shoot the 3. Makes it!
There you go.
Well, if you're going to leave her open, she started to show she was going to go to Brown. Her defender sagged off and left her open for the 3.
Jackson now in double figures with 11.
43-41. Leopards have retaken the lead. Akamine with Torres on her with the dribble. Kicks it to Glenn. Kicks it up top. Three-pointer coming. Missed badly by Benjamin, who's into the game. The Parma, Ohio junior guard. That's probably where I got the Parma yesterday.
Aha.
8:35 remaining, and I'm not talking about the cheese.
I know. Could use me some of that.
Into the corner, trying to get it to Brown. There is just no option there. Good defense from the Polar Bears. They'll swing it to Jackson.
Give me a nice Italian sandwich here in Las Vegas.
Smith for 3. Oh! Biggest lead of the game for the Leopards. Up 5 at 46-41, 8:14 remaining.
So much for 1 for 8.
Yeah, 2 3-pointers to start this quarter. Timeout, Ohio Northern. They want to talk things over as things have not played out like they thought. This will be a 30-second timeout. That's their first charge timeout of the game. Reminder, this is game 3 of 6 today after 6 yesterday. We will switch to men's basketball coming up next, as we will see for the first time in the event this year. Pomona Pitzer, thank you for showing up. We've had a couple of teams already heading home there, Sage Hens. We're being sarcastic. They'll take on the Trinity, Texas men's team, one of 3 schools who have both programs here. That's a huge matchup of a Pomona Pitzer team ranked 22nd and 21, and Trinity ranked 22 in the latest D3Hoops.com poll. Trinity coming off of a escape win over Clark. Speaking of Clark, they will take on Case Western Reserve, the 8th ranked Spartans in the penultimate game tonight. That's scheduled for 6 p.m. local, 9 Eastern. Case Western with a dominating win over Oswego thanks to shooting 54% from the floor. And we'll wrap things up with Whittier and Husson as our 8 o'clock finale For Whittier, that's a normal game time. For Husson, it's 11 o'clock in Bangor, Maine, where it could have even been midnight if you had stuck to how time zones were originally drawn. Anyway, we'll move on. Ball deflected out of bounds off of Serban. And Ohio Northern will sub in 3 just like that, as Wernicke, Glenn, and Benjamin will exit, and Glenn returns along with Ruan, and I'm missing who the third was. Might have been Dials. 7:30 to go, and losing the ball is Jackson on the drive in. Ruan finds it in her chest, pops it up to Serban. Serban forces the issue on Torres, but leaves the layup short. It's been a rough go of it for Serban, and it continues.
2 of 11.
7:15 to go, fourth quarter. 5-point lead for Laverne, who was down 11-2 to start this game. That feels like a long time ago now. Howell into the corner. Torres, plenty of time, and hits the 3. Laverne is hitting from deep after a rough third quarter, and their lead extends to 8, 11 points for Torres.
Third three-pointer. 10 of 24 means they're 3 of 4 here in the quarter.
Serban cut off baseline by Jackson. Will go back at it. Gets Jackson out of position, but cannot make the shot. And Smith rips down the rebound. I'm Dave McHugh, Pat Coleman alongside. Hope you're enjoying this one with 6.5 to go. Good battle here between two programs. Wouldn't normally play each other.
I am enjoying this, thank you.
I would hope. Again, Smith to Torres, and this is not going to take this shot with Dials too close. Brown comes over, and it's going to be kicked out of bounds. There'll be a kicking, well, it should be a kicking violation. And they'll reset to 20. They will. There it is. As Serban will leave, and back into the game comes Dixon for Ohio Northern. ONU had a 48-41 win over Marietta before coming into this event. 4-0 in the OAC after a 1-3 start on the season. Got a win here, but in jeopardy of losing to Laverne in this game. Laverne showing that they may be one to watch as we thought in the SCIAC. Brown left that shot short, and Akamine pulls it down. Missed Glenn up ahead, now finds her and lays it in. Yes, she will, as Brown was a little slow to get down court. Brown's definitely doesn't transition as well late in games, we've noticed.
That is true.
Jackson with the ball. She'll get it to Torres, looking for Brown with Glenn all over her. They'll go back to the top of the key to Smith instead, over to Howell, and Howell back to Jackson, far corner in front of Anthony Mason. Jackson will drive. She finds herself in the lane, forces up the shot, and will draw the foul on Akamine.
Fouls on the Polar Bears, number 13, Abby Akamine. That is her first.
As you hear, that's the first team's second. Laverne only has one foul on them with 5:27 to go in the quarter. Jackson to the free throw line to shoot. She is 1 of 2 there today. And misses that right. Getting ready to enter the game. She was in for a hot second late in this first half. Allison McGill, the freshman, 5'10" guard. Out of Ontario, California, where the Laverne men flew out of. So McGill into the match. Jackson makes the free throw, goes 1 for 2 on that trip, 2 for 4 for the event, or for the game. 7-point lead now for the Leopards. Dials trying to go against the newcomer. Misses the layup, tied up. Alternating possession will stay with the Bears.
Dave, I was looking through the history of the tournament, right? 13 seasons. This is the 13th. SCIAC teams are here fairly often, including SCIAC women's teams. There have only been 5 wins by SCIAC women's teams entering this tournament.
As Akamine misses that, it hung on the rim forever.
And if Laverne
Torres has to get rid of it before hitting the deck. Go ahead.
If Laverne wins this game, it's clearly the best win by a Skyac women's basketball team in the history of this event.
Absolutely agree.
Not even close.
Picked to win the conference, and rightly so. They had a great year last year and missed out on the NCAA tournament after falling in the conference tournament because they didn't have a good enough resume. This event, one of many that they worked on getting to improve their resume. Missed that shot short, did Harang, who's back in. Good to see, despite what seems to be a bit of a bum back. Torres got the long rebound. They'll reset. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Howell with the ball. She's got Akamine all over her. Torres gets it. Step back to take a three. Shut down. 3 seconds on the shot clock. Three-pointer is good from Smith from deep. 10-point lead for the Leopards on the 11th point from Smith with 4:12 remaining. They are extending their lead on ONU.
Are you kidding me? My goodness. An offensive set that looked like it was going nowhere fast, and then all of a sudden Smith lets it fly.
Missed three to the left, barely caught iron for Dixon. Out of bounds will stay with the Polar Bears as Jackson will return and give Torres a break for Laverne.
Think about the Laverne resume last year, Dave, right? Part of it was that they played 7 games against non-Division III opponents. These are games that basically mean nothing to the selection committee. This year,
oh, what an effort there from Dials as she goes high off glass, draws the foul, go to the line to shoot the old-fashioned three-point play.
This year they replaced 5 of those 7 with D3 opponents. So,
yeah, no,
including 2 of them here.
Their former coaching staff picked the brains of many of us, Gordon, myself, I even think talked to you.
Yep.
And our message was pretty clear. If it wasn't on our shows, what they needed to do to improve it, they took it to heart. And despite the coaching change, this team has been up to the challenge. Dials misses the three-point play. Jackson pulls down the rebound. It's an 8-point lead for the Leopards, who are looking to come out of this 1-1 after a tough loss yesterday and go into conference play with a whole host of momentum and a big win over a NCAA tournament team in ONU. 3.5 minutes to play. It's not over yet. Dials in the paint. She'll come outside to Akamine. She'll drive in. Put up about a 6-footer, no good. Harang cannot harangue the rebound. Outside, Dials cannot dial up the three-pointer. Allen will get tied up. And she and Harang exchanged some words. As Harang stepped in to help Smith get up, Allen didn't appreciate some type of contact. And she and Harang were exchanging where they're going to dinner tonight, I think.
Serbin is back into the game here for Ohio Northern. Chloe Glenn back into the game for Ohio Northern. Maybe we can get Damara to go reserve them a table also.
Ohio Northern with a full court press now.
We're the ones who don't have a space to eat dinner tonight.
I think Damara's got plans on where we're going to have dinner if we're running late tonight.
Yes.
Brown with the ball, kicks it back out to Jackson, now back inside to Brown with 3 minutes to play. Kicks it to the backside, Smith on the cut, missed the wide open layup.
Too strong.
Well, she's been taking threes all day.
I know, right? This is only a 2-foot shot.
That felt too easy. 2:50 remaining, still a 10-point lead though. 8-point lead, that would have made it 10. Dials into the paint, Brown distracts her. Allen pulls down the rebound, cannot put the shot back up. Smith pulls down the rebound, and now we'll bring it across the timeline. Looking a little uncomfortable in this position. Double team comes, she's trying to get it to somebody, and finally does to Leon. Now to Brown, reverse layup does not fall. Jackson can't pull down the rebound. Dials comes out with the ball. In transition, here come the Polar Bears, looking to cut into an 8-point deficit. Into the corner, thought about the three was Ruan, changed her mind, now Dials will slow things down.
Yesterday,
Dials forces up the shot, no good.
Yeah, Allen and Glenn combined for 23 points yesterday for Ohio Northern. Right now, they have combined for 12.
Ohio Northern, in all that fracas, calls a timeout. It's going to be a full one. We'll take it as well. Should be an interesting finish. Laverne leads Ohio Northern 53-45, 2:05 remaining here in the fourth.
For the love of the game. But for those of us who are Division III student athletes, it's more than that, a lot more.
Sure, the game is important, but as we work so hard to build both mind and body, it's more about team.
That is why NCAA Division III teamed up with Special Olympics, and in giving the gift of sport to those for whom it seemed an impossible dream, we are working to make this a better world.
Help us keep that dream alive.
You can make a difference.
We've got more schools than Division I, more fans than Division II, and more upsets than March Madness. There's nearly 850 programs with over 11,000 games leading to 2 national championships. And we've been covering it all for over 2 decades. From Eastern to Occidental, from Puget Sound to Piedmont, from Southwestern to the University of New England, and from Hope to Calvin. Nobody covers Division III basketball like we do. We're D3Hoops.com at www.d3hoops.com.
Welcome back. 2:05 left to go. Fourth quarter action. The Leopards of Laverne up on the Polar Bears of Ohio Northern. Ohio Northern's got the ball. Dave McHugh, Pat Coleman alongside, courtside at the 13th annual D3Hoops.com Classic. It's day number 3 of 4 as Serbin forces a 3, misses it. Allen gets the rebound, high off glass, and it put back. Cut leads at 6. Here comes the full court press from the Polar Bears. Jackson takes one dribble and picks up quickly to Howell across the court to Smith, up to Brown. Brown one-on-one, decides to stop and waste some clock. Jackson being harassed by Serbin, who gets a hand in it and picks her pocket. And Allen picks up the ball. 90 seconds left, down by 6 are the Polar Bears. Dials picks up her dribble, finds Allen at the top of the key. She'll now attack Brown on the near side. Spin move, nice move, gets up over Brown but cannot convert. Gets her own rebound and off glass, misses it. And they're gonna call a foul on Brown, her 4th. And Allen will go to the free throw line, looking to cut the deficit to 4.
Yeah, Dave, I mean, the presence of Brown inside has just altered not only shots, but altered what you just try to do offensively for Ohio Northern. This time, go back, attack, second chance opportunity, finally get that 4th foul on Brown.
So Brown held back into the game for Ohio Northern. There was another one who came in and missed. And back into the game for Laverne is Torres. I think that's going to be key for them, as it'll be Torres, Jackson, and Howell on the outside, even Smith to some degree with Brown inside. Allen hits the first free throw.
Torres in for Laverne, Superno, and Warnicki in for Ohio Northern.
Jackson and Smith pull down the rebound. Jackson at midcourt and double dribble violation. Turnover with 1:09 remaining and leading by 5 as Ruan will re-enter the game for Warnicki.
Big possession right here.
Serbin with the ball, being guarded by Jackson, picks up her dribble, gets it to Hakamine, who's got Torres on her. Cuts it to Serbin. Serbin to Allen for the long shot, left it well short. Smith pulls down the rebound with 54.5 seconds left. Timeout called by Laverne, and they will move it up to the 28-foot line.
It is not what you want. It's not the shot you're looking for in that possession. You're down by 5. You've got some time to work.
Timeout called by Laverne. They have 3 left. So does ONU. Yeah, that is. I thought they had a good opportunity. Allen, I think, just ended up further out than she expected herself to be. Left that short by about 3 feet.
Again, I think Serbin, lack of confidence, certainly lack of success today. That's a spot where you like to see your 5th-year senior guard take charge and take the shot rather than dishing it off.
53-45, Laverne will have the ball, and this is where I don't like the rule where you can move it up, because you've just eliminated Ohio Northern from having any ability to pressure in the backcourt.
Yeah, but I mean,
a turnover.
This thing's been in place for almost a decade. We might just have to accept that it exists.
Oh, I know it exists. I don't think it was thought of for offensive entertainment. It was not thought of for defensive, effort. It's an escape route. So Laverne will inbound the ball near their bench. It says the 28-foot line in the rule book, but that is not 28 feet.
No, it's not.
Always confuses me. Now he'll actually put him at the 28-foot line. Oh, that's good, because sometimes it's never put there. 54.5 seconds left. Jackson will inbound it, looking for help. She'll get it to Smith. Smith will get dinged by Warnicki.
2015 is when this started.
Wow.
Google doesn't lie.
COVID is throwing me off.
Right, exactly.
That is the team's third. They got more to use if they need to here. One more before there's double shots. Smith gets
Triple
it again.
teams.
Yep, she had plenty of black shirts around her.
Fouls on the Polar Bears, number 13.
I'll get it on 13.
Team's fourth.
Akamine, her second, team's fourth, and now the next one will result in free throws for the Leopards. Jackson will inbound yet again.
It's a team that shoots 69% from the foul line. Slightly above average in D3.
Gets it to Howell. Oh, and it's nearly stolen away. Loose ball on the ground. Bodies flying everywhere. And Akamine picks it up for the Polar Bears. But Brown comes from behind. It's going to go out of bounds and stay with the Polar Bears with 38.5 seconds left, trailing by 5.
Brown taking a chance there with 4 fouls. Not the wisest attempt there to try to deflect the ball out of bounds. And now they go offense-defense here.
Yep.
Does Ohio Northern. Brick Allen back into the game.
So is Ruan. Wernicke. And tripping up.
And it gets a timeout. So Serban almost had it taken away. She just goes to the floor to cover it up. And Mark Hulsman gets the timeout.
30-second timeout. They got 2 timeouts remaining. Yeah, Jackson was about to take that one away. And timeout called rather smartly
furtively
there.
Yes.
I lost the big word I wanted to use, so I gave up. 34.1 seconds left. Leopards have 3 fouls, so they've got 1 to give before it's free throws. They've got 3 timeouts left. Polar Bears have fouled 4 times, so the next time they foul, unless it's offensive, Leopards will be on the line. They've got 2 timeouts, does ONU remaining. Soprano in the game. Allen, Wernicke, Serban, and Ruan. Just play this one out. Wernicke drives in, past Torres, lays it in, cuts the deficit to 3. A 10-point lead is down to 3, and timeout called. I don't think they can move it here.
It has to be right after the made basket.
Right. I don't think you can move it because she inbounded the ball to a teammate.
No, it didn't go in.
Yes, no, she handed it in and then stepped inbounds.
It's
kind
of academic here because of the foul. Yeah.
Yep. So Akamine's called for the foul. That was a close one because you could see Brown inbound the ball and immediately say, hey, we want a timeout, and everybody pointed to the 28-foot line. You can't do that in that sequence, but they get bailed out with the foul. So Jackson will shoot the free throws. She is 2 for 4 today, now 2 of 5.
Need this one here, obviously makes it a 2-possession game.
Yeah.
It's math.
Got to make it a 2-possession ball game here with 27.8 ticks left.
We don't mind more entertainment, though. We don't want 5 minutes more entertainment, maybe. No good.
Misses both.
Allen with the rebounds.
Timeout called by Mark Hulsman. He'll obviously move it up, and points as such. They've got 1 timeout remaining now. Whew.
All right.
Are you not entertained?
Are you not entertained?
Dials will come back into the game for the Polar Bears. 53-50. Laverne in the lead, have led by 10 in this game.
And of course, as we mentioned,
7-0 run by Ohio Northern after the 10-point lead, and Laverne is on a scoring drought of 3 minutes and 50 seconds.
But they've been holding on 53 for quite some time.
3 turnovers in that span as well.
Is 53 enough to win this game?
Ohio Northern trails by 3. Dials will inbound it. She gets it to Ruan. Ruan being guarded by Smith. She gets it to Akamine. Tries to go inside of Dials. It's too far. Brown gets the ball. They do not call timeout. They wait for the foul instead.
Yep.
Dials can't believe it. She was wide open in the paint, and the ball got airmailed right over her. 19.6 seconds left. Howell will go to the line to shoot. She is not gone there today, though she's the team's best free throw shooter at 84%. First one good. 4-point lead. That's huge with 19.6 seconds remaining. And Mark Hulsman looks so frustrated. Second one is good. Into the game comes Valentina Limon. Timeout called by Ohio Northern to move the ball up. They will be out of timeouts if memory serves. They will here with this timeout. We'll keep it here because I think it's a long, but we'll keep it anyway. 55-50 lead for Laverne. Their first 2 points in nearly 4 minutes of action extends it out to an important 2-possession ball game with 19.6 left. First thing you got to do if you're Ohio Northern is just find a basket. That last sequence was great. I thought they executed it well, except for the pass.
Agreed.
They were going for the three-point play inside, I think.
Tough time for a turnover for sure.
Either going for the three-point play inside or maybe looking for the collapse defense and kick out for one more pass. But it was a nice little play call. Ohio Northern will get back into conference play after this. Oh, both teams will. Laverne, in fact, I think is... I knew the answer to this. I think they're playing Whittier next.
Well, Laverne's not... Oh, I see.
I think Laverne's taking on Whittier in conference play when they get back on January 3rd. Both men and women, so they're kind of seeing their opponent ahead of time. Whittier men are certainly a bit of a challenge. Whittier women not here, so Laverne not getting that opportunity. Oh, stumbling is Serbin, but Cipriano picks up the ball, forces the three, nearly goes in. Brown pulls down the rebound, called timeout or foul. Which is it? It's going to be a timeout.
Rebound number 5 for Brown. Couple of big boards, couple of big buckets here. Very balanced scoring. Obviously, very balanced scoring here today. For Laverne, Jackson with 12, Smith, Howell, and Torres with 11, Brown with 10. And the 5 rebounds and a couple of assists. Brown will let you know first. Brown will be named to the all-tournament team. On the other side, I'm just going to withhold just in case something dramatic happens here in the final 14 seconds, but I've got a name penciled in. We'll see if it holds. We will announce the entirety of the D3Hoops.com Classic All-Tournament team at the conclusion of the event. Today, Akamine, 4 of 11 for 11 points. Yesterday, 4 of 9 for 8 points and 5 turnovers.
14.1 left. Laverne's got to inbound this. Leading by 5. They will do so to Brown. Brown will hold, draw a crowd, then throws it away. Serbin, what's she waiting for?
I don't know. I thought Serbin stole it. I think she was.
She touched it last. I know that much. She was waiting for it to bounce on the line. She was out of position and then got inbounds. Now Laverne's going to inbound. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, once the line judge threw his hat, then you knew she couldn't be the first one to touch it after it came back inbounds.
Brown is fouled here.
That's a football joke.
I appreciated it.
That is her first personal foul. Checking in for the Polar Bears, number 44, Brooke Allen.
So Brown goes to the line here. It's pretty much academic here at 6.7 seconds left. 1 free throw will still keep it a 2-possession ball game. 2 makes will end the drama. First one is good. 56-50 for the Leopards, who have not made a field goal in forever, but have gotten points. Yeah, they haven't made one in 4-13, in fact, but they've gotten points on the free throw line.
82%
foul
shooter.
Is going to do it. Nothing Ohio Northern can do here in the closing seconds. Dial's three-pointer is blocked by Howell to add insult to injury. Your final score, Laverne with an impressive 57-50 win over Ohio Northern in this one. As they improve, the Leopards to 6-2 on the season. Ohio Northern unfortunately falls to 6-4 as both teams will head home and get into conference play. For Ohio Northern, trying to win the OAC once again and punch their ticket into the tournament that way. And you know for Laverne, despite a better resume, they will want to do so themselves by winning the SCIAC. Take a quick look at stats for this one. For Ohio Northern, they shot 18 of 61 from the floor at 30%. They were 30 of 19 from beyond the arc at 16%. and they were 11 of 19 from the free throw line at 58%. For Laverne, 19 of 50 from the floor at 38%. An incredible 11 of 25 from beyond the arc, despite a really rough 1 of 8 in the third quarter. At 44%, they were 8 of 12 from the free throw line at 67%. For Ohio Northern, they were led by 3 players in double figures. Dials with 12, Akamine with 11, and Allen with 11. For Laverne, they were led by 5 players in double figures. Jackson with 12, Brown with 12, 11 for Howell and Smith and Torres. Leading rebounder was Smith with 12 on the double-double. Leading rebounder for Ohio Northern was actually Ruan with 9. Once again, Ohio Northern, their biggest lead was 11-2. It start this game on a 7-0 run, and then an 11-2 run by Laverne to flip that around, including a 9-0 run. Tied this one up, and it was good back and forth, but Laverne ends up winning this after leading by 7. Sorry, the score is reset on you. I will try and fix that for you. As, once again, the final 57-50 as Laverne gets the victory over Ohio Northern. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll switch gears into men's basketball action. The Trinity Tigers of Texas play their second game after coming off a tight win over Clark. They will take on the Sage Hens of Pomona-Pitzer, who have not played in this event yet. Welcome in to the event, Sage Hens. We'll see that one coming up in about 18 minutes time on D3Hoops.com. For Pat Coleman, Gordon Mann, Ryan Coleman, Riley Zayas, and everybody else who's here, I'm Dave McHugh. Thanks for tuning in. Again, Laverne, the winners in women's basketball action over Ohio Northern, 57-50, as both teams split their games here at the 13th annual D3Hoops.com Classic.